All right, we're going to do this Underdog Best Ball Mania draft. This is the big one. Well, not the big. They have $1,500. This one's the $25 tournament, and it's got $2 million to first place, $1 million to second place, and another $1 million if you win if you're the highest scoring team after the first 14 weeks going to the playoffs. And guess what? I have the 8 pick. For something completely different this time, I have the 8 pick again. I don't understand how every single time I decide that I'm going to do a live draft on stream and for you guys on YouTube, that all I do is get the 8 slot. Whatever. This is my life. The 8 spot is my home, and that's where I live.
He's a legend.
So we're going with a 30-second draft here. It's going to start in 30 seconds. I have the Establish the Run rankings up. If you have not already, go over to establishtheRun.com. There's going to be a link down below. Go to establishtheRun.com, or you can use my promo code SmizzLife at checkout, or you can go to smizzle.tv/ETR and get 10% off of any of their products for your first time subscribing to the Early Bird Fantasy DFS bundle. This is the best value on the site. You get 10% off of that one as well. So go check out all the great stuff they have over there and support the people that support this channel. Jonathan Taylor, the first pick, then Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, everything going pretty much according to ADP and the plan and everything else. I haven't decided which direction I want to go with this team yet. I've leaned a little bit more into taking running backs early, just because I like the running backs that are sitting there around pick 100 through 130. I can take a running back or 2 in the first 3 rounds. And then that kind of allows me to build around stacks in the mid rounds that I kind of like, with taking kind of an elite quarterback or one of the, let's say, number 3 through number whatever, I'm going to go with Derrick Henry because I don't have any Derrick Henry. So I'm going to go with the big dog here. Let's build a Derrick Henry team. Let's build around him and see where we can go with this. Now, the second round is going to be a situation where I can either choose now to take a 3rd round running back and a stud wide receiver in the second, or go with two stud running backs early and then wait to fill that position out. I don't think we need to go super robust running back, albeit there is merit to it, obviously. Running backs have fallen a ton on Underdog the last 2 years. It's half-point PPR. There's no one way to beat half PPR with no bonuses. DraftKings with full PPR and bonuses, a little more straightforward. You want to focus on guys. Love Barkley. Barkley up at 15. Like he's been such a helium guy. He was down around 35 to 36 earlier in draft season. Let's go with DeAndre Swift. I can't. He's got the same bye week. I could, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait till the next round. I'm gonna take CeeDee Lamb here. I'm going to get another running back likely in the next round unless things are really, really ugly, but we'll see how it goes. Guys, if you're new to Underdog Fantasy and you wanted to take part in any of these best ball drafts, use promo code ALSMizzle. That will get you on your first deposit to the site. You will get a deposit match up to $100. So if you deposit $50 on your first deposit, you'll get $50 free dollars on the site. If you get $100 deposit, you'll get $100 on that deposit match that you can use to enter these tournaments. So promo code ALSMizzle. Debo Samuel, there goes DeAndre Swift. So I could have gone with 2 guys with the same bye week. I'm steering clear of that with my 2 stud running backs. Now, that doesn't mean my 3, 4, 5 that I'm going to avoid doing that with them, albeit it's not the most popular bye week. Week 9 and 10 are 2 of the more popular conflicting bye weeks. Weird that a 6 would be that. Tyreek Hill going at the 20 pick. Keenan Allen going at 21. That's a little ahead. I bet you that Neil Cassidy is going to be trying to build he's going to probably try to go Mike Williams with his next pick. Michael Pittman going at 23. That's early. As I said, Underdog drafters tend to hate running backs, which is leaving a lot of value at running back in these early rounds, which is why I'm more likely to advocate. We have to be ready to adjust, right? When the draft room changes, and DraftKings is different than Underdog, and Underdog, their drafters go wide receiver early, which is leaving a lot of value on the table. And if you watch the dead zone running back video that I did, right? The dead zone being rounds 3 through 6, typically wide receivers outpace running backs in those rounds. People are always right. He's going to try and take, he's hoping that Herbert falls to him in the next round. DJ Moore, a lot of running backs still on the table. Javonte, Alvin Kamara, James Conner, Breece Hall, Akers, Travis Etienne, still out there. He goes Kamara, assuming that there's going to be Again, I talked about this in the Dead Zone running back on the Fantasy Football channel, smizzle.tv/ff. Go check out the other Fantasy Football channel. There's new content all the time helping prepare you for fantasy football season. That's where all of these season-long videos are going now. So go check that out. So there's James Conner. I've got 2 high-volume running backs. Both, I believe, are going to be in the top, let's say, 5 to 8 in the league in terms of inside the 5 carries. I don't see the Cardinals running Kyler Murray as much as they have early in the season the last few years around the goal line. They want James Conner to pound those in because Kyler has sustained injuries in those short yardage runs. Now, he's still going to get his share of rushing touchdowns, but I think that they're going to turn more to handoffs in those situations. Henry got more usage in the passing game last year than he had in previous years. Obviously had the foot injury, and for a big running back, that's not the best injury for us, for a really big, heavy, tall running back. You want to stay away from small foot bone injuries, but all signs point to him being well recovered and with half PPR and touchdown oriented for spike weeks, as half PPR is on Underdog. With Henry and Connor, I have a lot of touchdown possibility there. Gabriel Davis in the 3rd round now. Brees, like this draft is actually off the rails at this point. This draft is completely off the rails. Allen Robinson at 37. What is going on? I don't know what's happening right now. This is entirely weird. This is one of the more weird drafts that I've been a part of. I'm speechless at this point. I don't know what's happening. 2 running backs for these 3 teams, for Stewie, Chillmonger, and myself. What is Hall's ADP? They're all in the 40s. There goes Cortland Sutton at 39. That's about where he's been going recently. Chillmonger with Josh Allen, Dalvin Cook, and Aaron Jones. Didn't get either of Davis. And then Terry McLaurin. All right, look, it's pick 41. The Falcons' offense is not great, but it is going to revolve a whole lot around Kyle Pitts. And getting a premium tight end, in my opinion, is extremely important. I can't really build a stack here, right? This isn't a stack situation with Kyle Pitts where I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get Mariota late. But if I'm going to buy shares of that Atlanta offense, I mean, I hated Kyle Pitts in this range last year, if you remember correctly, right? And looking back, it turned out that was the right play. Fade Kyle Pitts in that range, draft Chase or Cup in that range. But this situation is a bit different. My team is fully correlated for week 17. So I did want to hit on that. Now, it's not. It is a little bit. With CeeDee Lamb and Derrick Henry, I guess Atlanta's playing Arizona, but that was not part of my thinking there. As I get later in drafts, I don't mind correlating for the playoff weeks. Told you this was coming. He got what he wanted, right? Drafted Keenan early, reached on him so that he could take Mike Williams in the 2nd round and then get Herbert later. I am not against correlating for playoff weeks 15, 16, and 17. But I don't go out of my way to do that. Like, I'll do it if it comes down to a tiebreaker with certain positions or certain players. I'll definitely draft a player. It's like, well, should I take player A or player B? Well, this player correlates with a quarterback stack that I have. This receiver or pass catcher correlates with something that I have in week 16 or 17 that's going to help propel me through the playoff weeks. I'll use that as a tiebreaker, but I'm not going all in where the entire roster is built around week 17 stacks. I oopsed upon it for this one. Jalen Hurts at pick 49. What the hell is going on? He drafted AJ Brown, and so he wants to get Jalen Hurts. And I'm assuming he does not think that Jalen Hurts is going to be back around pick 72 and 73, but also, like, sure, get your people are going too far, I think. I don't know how else to put it. I feel like people are just going way too far to force their stacks. Yeah, this is a Best Ball Mania draft. I noticed that we have Chillmonger in chat, which isn't something that I wanted to, I try to avoid having people when I'm drafting live, because like it always ends up where you're gonna get stream sniped for players. I'm not saying or accusing that he's going to stream snipe me, but like I normally don't put players in queue for that exact reason while I'm drafting live, and it's something I definitely do when I'm drafting offline. Like I'll have this queue filled up with players that I want to get at all times. I cannot believe that Ezekiel Elliott is still on the board. Okay, Ezekiel Elliott is now off the board. So much Mahomes slander. I mean, it's 5 picks after ADP. It was really Ezekiel Elliott slander who went 14 picks after ADP. I was 100% taking Ezekiel Elliott in that spot if he was there. There goes Mahomes. There's a lot of pretty okay wide receivers at this point. There's nobody that I love. I'm going to reach a little bit on J.K. Dobbins. I know that he's on physically unable to perform list early in the season, but there are few running backs that have an opportunity to be, a 10 to 15 touchdown scorer in this range. And he is kind of the one. Him and maybe Antonio Gibson. A lot of talk about Elijah Mitchell. He's somebody that I've avoided. I'm going to have to do a video on the Fantasy Football channel of players that I'm not drafting, but I'm scared of, right? Does that make sense? Like, I'm not actively fading these players, but like based on where their ADP is, I'm just not buying them because I don't think that the value may not be there, or I just like other guys, right? In that price range. They're just other players that I tend to click more of when that pick comes around. Back to my pick. Burrow with a 70 something.
He's a legend.
Go Amon-Ra in this spot. I also want to do a fast draft where I try to set the limits on Underdog with the ETR rankings and see what it spits out. We did that last year. It was pretty all right. G Cowboy says, it's like on a Sunday when we look at our allocation and go, wow, Kelsey could kill me. Just didn't have to have the room type situation. Yes, exactly like that, right? Where you know that if you're fading this player, either actively or just it didn't work out with the stacks that you're building around, that this player could have a massive day and end up really hurting you, right? So like guys like Pittman, where I don't think I have one share of Michael Pittman, because in that third round, I'm not drafting Michael Pittman over Mike Williams. I'm not drafting Pittman over Keenan Allen. I'm not like all the guys in that range I like better, and they're always available to me at that pick. So like, it's not about me not liking Pittman, and he could have a fantastic year. So many people are on Pittman, like people that I trust, people that I listen to, people that, are smart, sharp minds in fantasy football. They really like Michael Pittman. It's like, I get it, but I just like these other guys more. It's like if there's like 3 desserts on a menu and the number 3 dessert is like, you're like, hey, that sounds really good, but like number 1 and 2 are better. I like the other ones better. So I'm going to pick the dessert that's a little tastier to me than the one that's like, yeah, it's good, but like, it's not the best. It's not my favorite dessert. So I end up going for those type of players and plays over picking the guy that everybody seems to be on, that's the helium guy. And I wonder, like the player that I was on a lot earlier was Saquon Barkley. Now his price has risen to a point where I don't know if I need to take him anymore. Like I have a lot of shares of Saquon Barkley. Harmon made you rethink Pittman even at his ADP. Look, he's a good player. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not fading these players because I think they're going to have bad seasons. I'm fading these players because I'm just prioritizing other players at that pick. Thankfully, Dak Prescott fell to me. Whee! All right, so I have Dak Prescott as my QB1, paired up with CeeDee Lamb. I accidentally have a Derrick Henry bring back in week 17 if we happen to get there. There goes Michael Thomas. So I did the rookie running backs video, or not rookie running back, my favorite rookies, my top 5 rookies. It's live on the Fantasy Football channel right now, smizzle.tv/FF. You'll notice that on the cover, Chris Olave is on the cover of that one. I had Pin Monkey make that cover before, and then a lot of positive news came out regarding him, and I was like, well, I'm gonna back off a little bit on Olave here, even though I like the prospect, so I switched him out for somebody else. Spoiler alert, Olave is not in the top 5 video. You'll have to watch to find out who my favorite top 5 running back, top 5 rookies are this season. Kadarius Toney up to 87. He was going like from 100 to 110. Pick 89. I feel like I'm taking a lot of players above ADP, and I don't love doing that. Burks had that report come out about him that he may not be the starter. He may not be the starter early in the season. It's going to be Westbrook, Inkine, but like, I think talent wins out as the season goes along. You remember a couple of seasons ago when Justin Jefferson, during training camp in the first week or 2 of the season, it was like, well, he's just not on the field all that much. He wasn't getting a lot of snaps, and they weren't giving him a lot of plays. He wasn't on the field because he hadn't grasped the playbook. And then like week 3, week 4, they played him a lot, and then he was just open a lot, and he started, doing best rookie ever type things at the position. Not saying that Treylon Burks is going to be Justin Jefferson or have that sort of impact as a rookie, but also he's more talented than anybody else that they have on that team on the outside, and they have to get him on the field. Devin Singletary up to 92. Telling. People are starting to come around on him. We were getting him for the last month and a half from pick 100 to 120. I'm loaded up on Singletary. I am loaded with him all over my teams. He is just littered. Sky Moore, 97. You have so much Singletary. Love to see it. There goes Garrett Wilson from the Jets. Gonna be interesting to see the deployment that the Jets utilize for the first, let's say, 4 weeks of the season. They have a really rough first 5-week schedule as well, where they play like the Bengals. They have a game against Pittsburgh. They have a game against, I think, the Browns. But like the Jets might be a really slow starting team. People kept asking you why. Yeah, the but what about crowd? But what about Cook? Yeah, what about him? He wasn't drafted to be the 100% guy. It's not why they took him. Jets have one of your favorite playoff schedules? For me, yeah, I agree with that. But they're going to be rough early in the season. So like leaning on the Jets might put your teams behind early, but might push later. Like those teams, if you can hang in the top 2 or 3 through that gauntlet that they have the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, then later in the season, you could very easily profit. I'm going to bet on talent with Chase Claypool and improved quarterback play. I've got 2 9s and 2 6s. I typically draft between 7 and 9 wide receivers. So I'm not pressed that I'm not going to have coverage at the wide receiver position. I do have to kind of start thinking, and I don't have any, there goes Cook at 107. See, Singletary in the 90s is so much better than Cook in the 100 to 110. You really like Javonte Williams, but Gordon scares you? He should. Do I think Rashad White gets the third down work in Tampa? No. He could, but like, I'm not betting on that. Melvin Gordon should scare you based on his usage last year. Diggs said Cooks reminds him of his brother. Okay. Players are going to say nice things about their teammates. Again, it's soundbite season right now. So everybody is going to say something, and it's going to get amplified on Twitter, and it's going to get retweeted a million times, and it's going to build up the hype around players, and people are just going to go nuts. It happens every single year. There goes Tyler Boyd. I was going to take Tyler Boyd in that spot. Stevenson, one of the players, like another player I've been clicking constantly this offseason. This is going to be an interesting spot right here. I think Robbie Anderson has gone up, but his ADP has not reflected it. The value of him has gone up, but the ADP has not reflected it. I'm going to say that Rondale Moore is going to get more run the first 6 weeks of the season. I'm going to bet on them throwing him the ball past the line of scrimmage with another year of age on AJ Green and without DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 weeks. And possibly, look, for the first 6 weeks of the season, Call of Duty's not out yet. So like Kyler Murray is theoretically better the first 6 weeks of the season than he is after week 7 when Call of Duty comes out. So we get the bump in playing time and the bump in target market share for Rondale Moore early in the season, added to the fact that there is no new video game out for Kyler to waste time on, and he is contractually obligated to spend more time in the film room. Rondale Moore rocket ship to the moon, hopefully. He's going to study 4 more hours this year. Yes. Contractually obligated to actually study. Hey, could you do your job more? Let's take a look at which quarterbacks are still left. Now, Derek Carr, Tua with an ADP of around 133, Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Deshaun Watson. Mine has an ADP of 9, a bye week of 9, so I cannot choose Daniel Jones. Deshaun Watson, not that I would pick him based on not knowing what his, suspension status is going to be early in the season. Yes, it coincides with the Cards' first half, second half. Yes, all of it. Kyler's been doing this for 3 years, not 2, 3. Based on that tweet that we showed before. We're like, sure, it also correlates with him getting injured, but like, it correlates very heavily with, his drop in production correlates very heavily with the release of the new Call of Duty every single, fall. Did I get the PS5 cat game? There's a cat game? I didn't know that there was a cat game. Tell me more. You had my interest. Now you have my attention. Warzone 2 this year, extra COD. It's called Stray. You're a cat doing cat. Damn it! I wanted Tim Patrick. I wanted Patrick so bad in that spot. All right, I'm going to reach because I don't know if he's going to be there with the next pick. Jalen Tolbert, definitely somebody that I like. Rookie that I like going into this season. So many targets vacated for Dallas. The only 2 that are remaining are CeeDee Lamb and Schultz. Said Wilson gone, Mari Cooper gone. Gallup still recovering from a super late season blown knee. Now he could come back and be ready to go for week 1, or If he hits the physically unable to perform lift, that gives you 6 weeks of a run up for the rookie. He may start week 1, and the Cowboys do run a ton of 3 wide anyway. So even if Gallup is out there and ready to produce at 100%, like just because you're out there doesn't mean that you're ready to go 100% of what you were before. So we'll see where Gallup's health is. Hopefully he's fully healthy, right? I always root for the players. I'm not rooting for injury. Even with a totally healthy Gallup, Tolbert's going to be a factor. They may get Julio. I mean, they may get anybody. Julio's rumored to go to like 6 different teams right now. So is Fuller. Whatever happened to Fuller? Daryl Henderson, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had a video this morning, training camp video, where he threw a complete 40-yard pass to like Laquan Treadwell. People are going to go nuts, right? Oh my God, look at Trevor Lawrence. It's the season.
He's a legend.
Vinny the Vinster, thank you very much. Take Josh Palmer here. 4 picks ahead of ADP. Again, buying shares of players who will be on the field for good offense. Why do I like Tim Patrick? Buying shares of players who I think will be on the field at value on good offenses. That's why I like Tim Patrick. That's why I like Palmer. Add Palmer to Tolbert, Moore, Claypool, Burks, Ra, any Metcalf or Lockett? No, I'm not buying. I'm not buying Metcalf at all. And Metcalf could kill me. He's another one for that video, right? That could absolutely burn the hell out of me for not having any shares. I would buy Lockett at around pick 100, but I'm not buying DK Metcalf in the 40s. That's not happening. But like the path to Lockett paying off his price tag in the 90s to the 110, like, yeah, I'll buy that. But I think DK Metcalf and his success is so tied to quality quarterback play that it makes it difficult for me to want to buy that. So we're at a 1-3-7-1 build at this point. I've gotten the majority of my wide receivers. I may have to draft 9 because I'm clearly not I don't have super stud wide receivers outside of CeeDee Lamb, who I'm extremely high on and goes with my primary stack. I went heavy on running back early in the draft with 3 guys that have a realistic potential of 12 plus touchdowns, all 3 of them. And my flex may be filled with a running back more weeks than it's not for this team. So I just need capable wide receiver play. Big play guy, touchdown player, big body touchdown player. I think that Amon-Ra St. Brown is still their best wide receiver on that team, especially early in the season with the absence of the rookie. CeeDee Lamb is great. Josh Palmer could have some spike weeks just because he is a part of that offense, even though I'm not expecting, him to do serious, amazing, ridiculous things. There goes Robbie Anderson. Rin Pitts, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Based on what I've seen, he looks like he's been drafting a pretty solid team. I will definitely say that. Can't not draft Aquabunum here. I can't stay away. Can you see the rest of my wide receivers? Yeah, they're right there. Let's go to the board so you guys can see it kind of flow out. Here's the team that he drafted. Diggs, Swift, Javonte, Deontay Johnson, Javonte and Deontay. Ezekiel Elliott, Russ Gage early. Drake London at 78. Like the value there. Hawkinson at 91. Dawson Knox, 2 quality guys. Went with Rodgers and Watson here. KJ Osborne, Robbie Anderson. I like that team. It's a solid team. Aquabunum started a run a little bit on tight ends with Gerald Everett and Njoku. Tunyon went before that. I have to think that Ryan was hoping that Tunyon was going to fall to him. Looks like Ryan Pitts. Yeah. Kenny Gainwell, Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones going with the Trevor Lawrence, building a secondary stack there for him. Could be a long season for the Steeler fans. Because of the stadium name, I think you'll be all right with the stadium. So Jamison Crowder fell all the way to 160. The training camp news it's wild, man. The amount that people overreact on training camp news is so entirely wild to me. People just go completely nuts. I'm going to take Corey Davis in the spot. Come on, pick him. He's there. He's on the top of the list. Yeah, I know. It timed out. I was okay with it because I was like, well, I'm going to take him. I was just looking around the list. I like Corey Davis, especially at price. There's too much value there. I've also got a lot of William Fuller, but I'm starting to get nervous about William Fuller because, like, there's just been nothing. There's been no news about him. Yeah, it's best shape of his life season right now. It's totally best shape of his life season. And when you're at best shape of his life season, anything will change it. So the reason why Crowder is falling this week, I think that Crowder has been a buy all offseason based on what I believe his role is going to be in that Bills offense and as good as that Bills offense is. However, currently, he's not practicing. He's on the sideline just kind of working out and getting up to speed. He's also a veteran at this point, and they don't need to run him out early in camp. So he's just not practicing. So all the reports were from the first day or two, Isaiah McKenzie's getting all the snaps with the first team. Yeah, he's getting all the snaps with the first team because Jamison Crowder is not in pads right now. If both of them are in pads, right? And McKenzie is playing over Crowder when Crowder is active and at practice. He's playing with the ones and Crowder's with the twos. Then I'm in. Then I'm like, you know what? I made a mistake. I screwed up. But if you're getting a 10 to a 20 pick discount on him right now, that seems tremendous. That seems absolutely tremendous. Paris Campbell, currently the opposite side wide receiver for Indy, has never been thrilling. That's one of the landing spots potentially for William Fuller. Cleveland, but Cleveland says that they're not going to go get him. They're happy with their wide receivers. Indy and Baltimore would be the three top destinations for somebody like Will Fuller if he was to sign. There goes Isaiah McKenzie, who had been going in around the 18th rounds. Now you see that 3-round bump, and you saw a 2-round drop. You know, like it's incredible that like just 2 days of practice, how much it's going to shake up ADP in these drafts. Remaining running backs: J.D. McKissick, Darrell Williams, the backup in Arizona. I like the price there, but I don't handcuff. You know, I don't really handcuff in my best ball drafts. I am going to take Ryan Tannehill. So there you go for the correlation bros. The correlation bros are toasting. They are excited. They're all extremely happy right now that I've got Dak Prescott going up against Ryan Tannehill in week 17. They're feasting right now. They've just popped the champagne bottles. Al went with a week 17 double stack. If this team makes the finals and that game has it's 35-32, I'm walking away with $2 million. But like, you gotta get there first, guys. Right? We gotta make the finals. I can't just win the finals without being in the finals. I gotta get there first. Clearly targeting that stack before the draft even started. Guys, I don't know if you know this about me. I have no idea what I'm doing anytime I go into a draft. I am knowing what I'm doing here. I'm going to go with Zamir White. I detailed him in my top 5 rookies video over on the second channel. If you're still watching at this point of the video, go check that video out and do me a favor, like, subscribe, all that stuff on this video as well here on the main channel. So thank you guys for watching. Football season is what, like 45, 44 days away right now? We're heating up, and I've got a ton of content on the Fantasy Football channel to help you get ready for your friends and family. So I've got my 4 running backs. I may take a 5th. I do believe that I need a little bit more at wide receiver. It's a little thin at that positions. I don't think I need another quarterback. I could go with 3 QBs though. I could go with Marcus Mariota in the final round if I decide. There goes Will Fuller right around 189, which is basically his ADP. So we're coming up on the end of this draft. I have 2 picks left. We have 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Typically, my build through 17 rounds is 2, 5, 8, 2, and then I decide where I need to fill in. Am I doing the cage matches this year? Yes, I am. We'll be announcing our season-long charity fundraiser soon, like halfway through August, a few weeks away. Our fundraising goals, everything else, just like we did last season, we're going to up it. So AJ Green, Julio Jones, Zay Jones, run on Joneses. Donovan Peoples-Jones got to go next. He's got to go next. He's got to go. You have to draft DPJ. You have to do it. You have to do it. Don't break the chain. Don't do it. DJ Reichard. Wrong Cleveland wide receiver. You did it all wrong. You just broke it. I hate this draft now because he did not draft a 3rd Jones. We needed Jones. I have no faith in anything anymore in fantasy football because he just did not see the writing on the wall there. Yeah, draft Rojo there. Any Jones, best Jones available. Baker Mayfield, see that? And there's the correlation. He took Robbie Anderson. Baker Mayfield is a fantastic value late in drafts right now. His rep is he's better than his rep at this point. I'm gonna go with Michelle. Sony Michel had a fantastic year last year. And as my running back 5 on this team, on a team where anything could happen at running back, Mostert is healthy, and I hope he stays healthy. I'm buying both Mostert and Michel right now at this point. But injury history being what it is, Sony Michel, with as solid a year as he had on a world championship caliber team, now going to a team with a mess at running back. And Chase Edmonds being the highest drafted running back on Miami, there's no way that Chase Edmonds can carry the ball or touch the ball 25 times a week. He is a 12 to 15 touch guy max. Knowing that that is what his workload is and should be, you kind of have to, take all of that into account. I like Taysom Hill as a tight end pick in the 18th round. That's solid. I am going to go with Marcus Mariota. Why not? Hopefully he stays the starter for the whole year. He posted a couple of really big games. Sorry, one really big game when he was a starter, another one when he came off the bench due to an injury, and now he's a starter. Don't think that he can't run anymore, and he's going to have to create, and we have the correlation with Kyle Pitts as well. So I went with a 3 quarterback build on this one. Not super hyper fragile, but I went somewhat hyper fragile with 3 early running backs and then 2 very late ones that are kind of lottery ticket guys. Built out solid wide receivers, and then went with a premium tight end and then a later round Albert Aquabunam to kind of fill that out. Now, here's the other thing. We're probably going to have one of the highest rated teams, or one of the higher rated teams, because I drafted 3 quarterbacks. So quarterbacks have higher projections on Underdog, but also I drafted a couple of rookies like Zamir White and Burks and Tolbert who are going to have low projections. So it'll shake out where it shakes out. Brian Edwards going over to Atlanta as well. I don't pay much attention to the projections for that reason, is kind of what I'm getting at. James Washington was my other possible choice there in the final round to give me a little extra correlation and early season on the field play in the case that somebody like Gallup is out, but I didn't feel like I needed another Dallas Cowboy. I would have liked to have gotten Schultz, but I wasn't pressing for it, especially since I spent early draft equity on Kyle Pitts. If I had not drafted that, I probably would have gone with Dalton Schultz to get the Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Schultz, get the highest amount from them. So thank you guys for watching. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.